Hit the bell, subscribe, and like if you get value from the video. How to make an irresistible offer so that no matter what business you're in electronically, it is exactly that. It is irresistible. So what does that mean? If you're like a lot of people, when you have an offer, you're thinking, well, I don't want to turn anybody off. Well, how can I design something that, quite frankly, is going to enamor a lot of people without turning people off and get them to understand that my product has value and can solve their problem? And maybe you don't even know yet that you need to have an offer that solves a problem. So let's start from the beginning. Here's a secret. Don't worry about turning people off, because your offer needs to not turn off the right people. And there's ingredients to this. A lot of people think it's like hanging out. Just, be yourself, be funny, and if you're amicable and likable, people are going to buy from you. Well, that's part of it, because nobody's going to buy anything from you if they don't like you, of course. But there needs to be a proper offer. You need to identify a problem that somebody has. You need to offer them value. And you need to show them how they're going to receive that value and what mechanisms, what features are going to help them to apply that value if they don't understand how to make it as most effective as possible so that they can see the results in their business. Because a lot of people will say, oh yeah, that content was good. There's a lot of good content out there, but they don't know what to do with it. And the reason they don't know what to do with it is because it's in the hands-on application that all the battles are won and lost, right? If somebody gives you something that you don't understand very well, and they give it to you in a package, and it makes sense, but you've never actually done it in real life, you've never used these tools, it's going to be very hard for you to get success. So again, it's in the hands-on battles that are won and lost, and you want to make sure when you buy something, looking from the buyer's perspective, that there's support and help to maximize it. Now, I won't get too much into that today. From the offer perspective, here's what you need to do. You need to be likable. You need to be trustworthy. That means you need to be honest. You need to have an offer. You need to identify that your offer solves a problem. And then you need to explain the delivery mechanism and why that delivery mechanism is better than the rest. And you don't do it by saying you're better than the rest like a lot of people like to do. Instead, you need to be first a student of the industry. If you don't know how to make it better than the rest, if you don't know how to deliver, that's because you haven't studied the industry enough. And if you do know how to deliver, never say it's better because. It's better to just say, this is the best offer you're going to find. And the reason for that is because I'm going to make sure that our service does this, because I know that in your industry, you have problems with this, or at least 2 to 3 of these things if you name off a list of things. Or because if you want to think about how do you, appeal to the most people, it's not really about not offending anyone in the content and trying to appeal to everybody. It's trying to appeal to everybody of the right people. So one mechanism is, if you know an industry that has 3 problems, for sure, most people experience 3, even people that are succeeding experience 2 or 1. Just say at a minimum, you experience 1 of these 3 problems, if not all 3, and I will, at a minimum, make sure that we eviscerate 1 of these 3, because I know you have that problem at the very least. This way, you cover your bases, you make it as relatable as possible in terms of identifying the problem, providing a solution, because of that menu of the 1 out of 3 or 3 out of 3. And again, it could be 5 out of 5, could be 10 pain points. You don't want to go too far with the pain points, because anytime you're listing, if the list gets too verbose, if there's too much verbality on that one list, you're going to kind of lose your prospect a little bit. It's better to just keep it short and sweet. So you have to have a value offer. You have to trigger emotion by identifying a problem people have that's a nuisance, and then having them say, well, yes, that makes sense. And then you saying, well, here's the solution and here's the support. If you got value from the video, hit the bell, subscribe, like, or do whatever you need to do on whatever platform you're watching on to show that the video was helpful. It helps us gain traction. I appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one.